I think listening to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks is making me a bad listener in real life, which is interesting. And I think it is because I really enjoy listening to podcasts and audiobooks about social issues. Sometimes in the podcast you have people debating. So I really like to listen to a lot of content about politics, science, sociology, what have you. And these are conversations that are often nice to have in person or interesting to have in person. But what happens is the fact that I have absorbed so much information through the podcast and the audiobooks makes me really bored if somebody repeats the exact same arguments, the exact same points I have heard already 50 times. And what makes things even worse is that when I listen to the podcast, I can pay as much attention as it's necessary to follow the discussion. So if it's a topic that I have already heard another 10 times, I'm gonna use 10% of my attention and I can be doing something else with my hands, with my mind even, and that's totally fine. So I have trained myself basically to be disrespectful to someone speaking something that I have heard a lot of times before. So my automatic reaction when I debate, when I discuss with someone and they say something that I have heard a lot, is to get distracted, to do something else and still use a small amount of my attention, because that's all I need to follow their argument, because it's stepping on a template that I already know. But of course this is very ugly and very disrespectful to the person that speaks their heart and speaks their thoughts and feelings and opinions and passion. So yeah, I have basically to pretend that I'm paying a lot of attention to the person. And you could argue that I could still legitimately pay a lot of attention to the body language of the person, to observe them deeply and try to make inferences about their personality or their experiences through the words that I have heard tens of times. But unfortunately, even that is not true, because it is not so difficult to understand where people are coming from if you have heard people coming from those places many times and elaborate on their experiences and on the life that they have lived that has led them to believe the things they believe and to speak the things they speak. And I don't know how to solve this problem. I do think it's a problem. I do think that you would probably sense that you're not completely respected when I try to listen to you, because my attitude is a little bit condescending. It's like listening to a child finding about the world and you're like, yes, isn't that amazing? But you can still be doing your thing while you're excited about your child, and then give your child a few moments of attention. But grown-ups don't buy that shit. If you say something that is fascinating and important, I better pay some attention to you. I don't know how to deal with that. I understand that I already sound condescending saying those words now, even if I don't address someone in particular. So if you have any ideas, if you have any advice on how to believe and how to actually embody the idea that everybody speaking has something interesting to say, if you listen closely and if you listen long enough, even if it sounds beautiful, it's not my experience. And it's nobody's fault. It's just the fact that I love trying to learn about the world, and I have so much information in my head that 99% of the conversations are mapping onto things that I have already listened to. And I'm really, really thirsty to be challenged intellectually. But it doesn't happen in my daily life, and that makes it very easy that I look condescending. So I have to admit I'm not a good listener. And again, if you have any advice on how to get better, please write me a comment. If you help me, I will be really, really grateful. Thank you for watching this short video, and I'll see you in the next one.